I'm very excited to get to know Raj right now. So Raj, thank you for being here with us, bro.
Oh, you're welcome, and thanks for having me, Joy.
Oh, it's a pleasure, bro. Where did you get that shirt? Because I don't even have a shirt like that.
This is one of the positives about Experience, right? That they keep us engaged. They keep running these events and challenges. I just signed up for one of them. I completed it, and this was my reward. So
Nice, man. That is excellent. That is so cool. I love it. I love it. I'm glad that you said that they're keeping people engaged, which I know is the case. They're keeping the community very engaged. Maybe before we get into your experience with Expedience, maybe we can get to know you a little bit, like maybe your age, what's your training history, and stuff like that. Thank you, Mueller Sports, for sponsoring this video, but more about Mueller Sports later.
yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm in my 40s, in my early 40s. Um, I've I've been in I've been in a good shape most of my life, especially in my 20s, and then with age, fitness kind of took a back seat. You keep thinking, yeah, I'm all right. I'm in good shape for somebody of this age, and it just keeps going further and further back. And then suddenly you realize, you're not where you should be, right? And I got a medical health scare just a couple of years ago, and that's when I started thinking about it seriously, and that kind of pushed me into buying Experience, right? And it wasn't actually till earlier this year that I started getting into it. So at work, there were a couple of like-minded folks who wanted to do something fitness-oriented, and we were thinking of what should we do. And then we came across this 75 hard challenge. I don't know if you've heard about it. So it's just a self-disciplined, self-governed program with a bunch of rules where you'll have to do 2 workouts a day, stick to a diet, drink a gallon of water, read a book, and take the progress pictures. So I enrolled myself into this one. I started maybe the 1st of February, and I saw really good results, right? And Experience really helped me with it because you have to do 2 workouts a day, and you can guess where one of those workouts came from. Right? So and that's how I got into it. So though I was really fit in my 20s, I kind of lost into it, and I'm getting back into it. I completed my 75 hard challenge, and then I thought, let's just keep going. I mean, this is not just a challenge that you complete, after 60 days or 75 days or 90 days. I think this is a lifestyle that I want to live, and I've just evolved, and I've decided this is how I'm going to be.
Man, that is awesome. That is beautiful. I'm sorry to hear about that health scare, but I'm happy to know that it got you on a good track. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty good because many people, when they get health scares, they kind of accept them, or they just go to the doctor and say, let me get some pills, or whatever the case might be. But you made a huge lifestyle change. Man,
Absolutely. Yeah.
that is excellent. Yeah, I think Expedience, I think anybody watching who is familiar with Expedience knows having a piece of equipment like this at home is going to make your training and your lifestyle completely optimized, because now you don't have to worry about traveling and fitting the gym into your life. It's already in your life at your home. So you must be doing really well with that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when I was doing my research, that was one of the things that made me lean towards Experience, right? I think we have to keep ourselves motivated, remove blockers and temptations. And one of the blockers was getting yourselves up. I mean, I work out. I prefer to work out in the mornings. Getting yourself out at 5. I mean, if you have to go a full day ahead, you have to go to the office. Means you have to be up at 5. Especially if it's a cold morning, you have to bundle up, go to the gym, come back. Right, all that commute is easily going to take about half hour to 45 minutes of your time. Right, that you could be doing something for yourself, right? Maybe spend more time at the gym, right? Spend time with your family. So and that's what I did. I think Speedius is great. It kind of combines the benefits of a home gym and a smart gym, right? And the benefits of a home gym, like I said, you save on time. If you are at a gym, you don't have to wait your turn, right? You don't have to worry about if the person in front of you wipe down their equipment, right? It's more hygienic. Uh, yeah, so I think the list of pros goes on and on. So that's the benefit of having a home gym. And speed, it's definitely takes the piece of cake there.
Yeah, it checks the boxes for sure. So you said that in your 20s, if I understood correctly, in your 20s, you were going to the gym, you were doing your thing in a physical gym. So I'm curious to get to know your opinions when comparing a digital weight at home piece of equipment like the Gym Monster to an actual gym, other than, like you mentioned, the hygiene. What are your thoughts on like the training? What are your thoughts on using the digital weight to manipulate the way your body functions? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I love it. Where do I start? Um, Tracking, right? You can track how much you do, what body parts you work, when you worked out. I can just log into my Experience, my account, and see how much I've lifted today, the past week, the past month, all year, or from the time I started working out with Experience, right? I think that's great. It also tells me what body parts I work, where I'm lacking, and so on. I'm able to so those are just some of the positives, right? The other things I can think of are the weight increments. You can do it with if you're at a gym, you're probably adding, I don't know, 10-pound plates, 15-pound plates, or maybe 5-pound plates, right? So there's a big gap between where you are to where you can lift another 10 pounds more or a 20 pounds more, right? But here you can that increment, the progressive load can come on in increments of 1 pound or 2 pounds, right? I think that's great. And the Bluetooth thing, I think I think that's awesome, right? You're all set. You are in position before you're absolutely 100% ready before you turn on the weights. Um, I think that makes a lot of difference. The spotted mode, which means you don't have a helper. You don't need a helper, right? If you're working out by yourself, you decide to go heavy, but you're a little concerned, worried, you turn on the spotter mode, right? And the machine helps you out if you're struggling. It understands, it knows if you're struggling, and gives you that last push. Uh, I think that's great. Um, what else? The other things sometimes when you're working out, you lose count, right? The machine is counting the reps for you, right? You do
Right.
10. Did I do 10 or did I do 9, right? The machine keeps count. It also gives you the option to keep going. If you're done with 10, it lets you know, hey, you've done your set. And it lets you keep going. If I want to do one or two more, it lets you do that. Uh, the best thing I think though is being able to customize my workouts, right? I wake
Right.
up, I go to the when I'm sitting in the bathroom, I know I plan my day, I plan my workouts. I know, okay, these are the workouts I want to do. It's not just the workouts. I add them to a program, to a custom workout. So I add them from my phone. I'm able to add the workouts that I want, the number of reps I want to do, the weights I want to do for each of those sets, how much interval I need to give between the sets. Right? I think that's awesome. All this is done in like 5 minutes when I'm in the bathroom, and I come down to the machine. It's already
Right.
there. Right? I turn on the machine. That workout said all I have to do is touch it and click start, and it's there. I think that's one of the best things about a smart and a digital gym. I think those are some of the things that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, that is a perfect description of exactly what this machine's doing. I completely agree. One of the things that I find to be incredible about having digital weight, like you mentioned with the Bluetooth, just for an example, is the fact that I can take my sets to complete and utter failure. I don't have to worry about getting hurt under a bar. I don't have to worry about not being able to push that last rep and being in a dangerous position even when I start the rep. Recovery in general is one of the most vital things. A great way to go about getting some recovery is the compression device by Mueller Sports. This recovery device will compress your muscles, reduce pain from training so that you can train more often, harder than last time, and be able to get the most out of your workouts. Check out Mueller Sports for all of your recovery needs, and to check out the amazing device, the Revive Recovery Care device by Mueller. I can start and stop that rep whenever I want. I'm taking sets to absolute 100% failure every single time. And like you mentioned, you also have that spotter mode in case for any reason something goes haywire. That thing's going to drop that weight for you and it's going to save the day. Amazing
Absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah, and you can increase or decrease your weights at the tip of your finger too, right? It's not just turning it on and off. You can go up a pound or 2 or 5 or 10. You do the scroll and it goes up increments of 5s or 10s. I think it's awesome. Just the other thing that just popped up into my mind is the updates it receives, just like your phone or a Tesla, right? They keep updating the software. They add new workouts, right? You come one morning, it says, "Hey, the next version is ready." It restarts, and there you go. They also collect feedback and feature requests, and they're very transparent about it. And they say, "Hey, this is going to come out in the next release, in the next couple of months," and they give us a list of all the things that comes out, right? So if you're a tech savvy person, especially, I think you really like that kind of transparency and the improvements. That's another thing that's going further.
Yeah, that's something that I noticed. You mentioned earlier that they've been that Spedient's, I forget how you worded it, but you said that they show a lot of attention towards its users. The Spedient's community has been great. And the community themselves, when they want to see something, when they let Spedients know, they implement it, which is amazing because so many different companies, they don't care. You can talk to the companies all day. What's the chance that they're going to listen to you? Spedients actually listens.
Yeah, I probably placed in the best way to say that, because I don't know if you've noticed, I shared my progress in the 84 days, the 90 days that I made. I wanted to share it with somebody, and I shared it with the Experience community, right? The kind of response I got, the appreciation, the support was incredible, right? What more, Experience team made a program out of it, right? They called it Raj Transformation. It was so awesome. Every time I turned on Experience, I see my picture, and it says, "Hey," it's one of the top trending programs it's been for the last couple of months, which is awesome, right? I mean, that was a way of me giving back, saying, "Hey, this worked for me. Why don't you try it and see if it works for you?" Right? I mean, I think that's awesome.
That is so cool. So cool. Yeah. I mean, one thing that I love about this company is that they haven't, in my opinion, in my experience, they haven't been operating like a company. It's like they're operating like a group of human beings who care. And, who wants to deal with a company? We want to deal with people. And so that's what I love. They're people, man.
Totally
I
agree.
gotta check out your program because typically I'm in free mode. I don't use any programs. And I don't even like set up my own programs. I don't. I'm like way old school where I'll write my weights down, but I got to get into the programs to use them more just so I can teach other people about the programs. But have you, in your personal experience, have you ever found the preset programs to be challenging, interesting? Do you like them? What are your thoughts on those preset programs if you have any experience?
When I started off with Experience, I wanted to try different things out. So for the first few days, I tried some programs. I think they are great. Uh, they have different programs to fit everybody's need, right? I mean, there is an initial assessment that you do. The system assesses your strength and records it. And any program that you sign, it starts recommending the weights that you should be doing those workouts at, right? So, which is great.
Right.
And the variety of workouts. I mean, if you just want to do morning stretches, you have a workout for that, right? If you want to do a post lunch, maybe you have just half hour between breaks to do a workout. They have workouts for that, right? If you want to do a bedtime workout, they have workouts for that, right? And they have different levels of it too. And there are filters that you can apply. There's beginners, there's intermediate, there's expert levels. So depending on your comfort level, depending on how intense you want it to be, you have options. So as long as you're willing to explore, and they keep adding on to. I think that's great. But because I have experience with fitness programs and working out in my past life, um, I wanted to be in a calorie deficit, and I had to work out 7 days a week, which is usually not recommended. But because I was in a calorie deficit kind of program, and because I was part of that 75 hard, I had to do a workout every day. I came up with this program because I don't think I recall seeing any program that was 7 days long with experience. So I created my own, and the way I went about it was I had to work out every day, but I shouldn't get fatigued. I shouldn't. I didn't want my. I should also give each of my muscle groups enough recovery time. So that way, that's why I came up with this 7 day program where each of my muscle groups there's enough gap or space intervals between the same muscle groups or byproduct muscle groups, right? And I extended it for 7 days in a week. Um, yeah, so when you get a chance, please check it out. And if you have any comments, suggestions, please let me know.
That sounds fantastic. I love the fact that you touched on calorie deficit. Let me get into that in a minute. But first, I just want to point out that we got some pretty cool comments. We have AC Lever mentioning that's why you look familiar, talking about you, Raj. That's why you look familiar. Your program popped up on my list. I think that's so cool. And they saved it. So that means they love the program, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
And yeah, totally. Thank you so much, AC, for letting us know that. That is so cool. We also have another comment from AC talking about I use the custom workout feature and love it. I also like that I can search and save different movements. Absolutely, 100%. That's the beauty of this. Like Raj mentioned, he can be upstairs programming his next workout. It's just super, super easy. It's ready to go when he's ready. And Art, okay, cool. Art, that's right. Art, I remember. I think you were on the last live. Well, thank you for being here again, Art. I'm going to try to remember that. Art, perfect. But that's excellent. So let me ask you a two-part question. First, if you could touch on some of the specific changes that you saw within your body as you were transforming, because you had that transformation period. And next, I'd like you to touch on the weight loss aspect, like you mentioned, calorie deficit, which is so important when we want to trim up and see the muscles that we're building.
Sure. Yeah. Let me start off with setting goals. I mean, this usually people think it's boring, but I think it's important. And I'm no saint. I started off that way too. I started off saying, hey, I need to get better. I need to get in shape. I need to look good in a t-shirt, right? That's how it usually starts. But those are short-term goals, right? I think it's important to have long-term goals. Mine are, I think everybody should be, especially if you don't need it in your life, if your job doesn't need it, you don't really have to be lifting too much, or you don't have to be running marathons as part of your professional life. I think
Right.
we need to be working towards keeping a healthy life, living as long as you can with spending as much time with your family, with as fewer visits to the doctor's office as possible, right? And how do you make that happen? I think the best way is to eat clean, keep maintain keep your muscles, keep the muscle mass, convert the fat into muscle, right? That's the way, and keep your mobility, right? I think these are the three essential ways where you can make that happen. I'm no expert, but this is just what I feel and believe. So as long as you have these long-term goals and you work towards that, the short-term goals take care of themselves, right? This is something that I realized after I started doing this program. So I had short-term goals, but now I don't have short-term goals, right? I'm looking at the distant picture and running towards it. So when you have this, then you don't have to worry about the maintenance phase, right? People get to where they want. They work so hard to get where they want, and then they kind of lose it because it now becomes a burden. It becomes a maintenance phase. I think you have to get there consistently, right? You have to adopt a way that's sustainable, and you're able to consistently do that on a day-to-day basis. I think that's where you have to change your lifestyle and not just make short-term adjustments to where you are. So when I first started this, well, and I think I went cold turkey. I did my diet changes as well as starting to work out on the same day, right? It happened at the same time, and I think eating clean is plays a significant role in a transformation, more so than working out. So I think we should start there, and it usually starts in the kitchen, right? When I started the transformation, the immediate changes. The first things that I did was cut down on sugar, right? Added sugar, processed sugar, as much as I could. I started cutting it down. Right. Within the first week, I started noticing changes. Right. I mean, I didn't start losing weight or fat in my belly area, which is what I originally wanted. I started losing. In fact, if I remember right, I noticed it started losing from up here. Right. I started losing from on my face and my neck, and then my chest, and then maybe the upper part of my abdomen, and then it skipped the middle section, and then it went to my thighs and my back. Right. That's how I noticed, and this is probably the last areas it touched, and it was very gradual. It wasn't overnight. It was painfully slow.
Right.
So that's what I've noticed. I don't know if you've experienced the same thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. The way you just broke it down is exactly what I've experienced. A little bit about me, I've gone from at my heaviest close to 300 pounds down to like a show ready 145. And
Oh wow.
yeah, it was a wild journey. I did most of that progress in 8 months, and then it got really hard to lose weight. But in that one specific spot, I was dieting so hard to get rid of that tiny last bit right on my stomach where you mentioned it. It's the hardest thing to lose. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The key thing is consistency. That you shouldn't lose heart. Just keep going. It will turn around. It will happen. Right?
Right.
So yeah, that was the first part. Sorry. What was the second part of that question?
Well, essentially, but before you jump into the second part was about well, the second part was talking about nutrition. So you actually touched on it. The first part was what did you see physically change?
Mm-hmm.
The second part was talking about that calorie deficit essentially.
Right. Right.
But you mentioned eating clean, which is super important. You mentioned cutting out sugar. So we can tell that this was kind of the route you took. Many people have different routes, just cutting calories, eating clean, everybody's different. But for you, was there any cardio involved? And if so, what type was it? And do you do any type of cardio now? For example, maybe with the rower on Speedians or anything like that?
I do. Like I said, I was doing 2 workouts a day for that first 75 days, and I'm doing a version of it now. So no, I don't do it every day. I do it for most times a week. So I work out in the morning using my Expedients, and then I go for a walk with my wife. Late in the evenings after dinner, we both take a 60-minute walk. They cover maybe three and a quarter of a mile. I think it's a great way. It's a great way to close the day, to end the day. Gives us a chance to catch up, with both of us working. I think we should, everybody, if it's possible, find a partner, and I think you should do it. Yeah, it's a brisk walk. I don't run. Sometimes I sprint, but for the most part, my cardio is just walking. I think it does wonders, especially when you are following a diet and working out, with resistance training, along with just walking. You don't have to stress or strain yourself too much. And if you really love doing it, if you're passionate about it, I think go for it. But otherwise, if your goal or intent is just to lose weight, you don't really have to run. You don't have to strain yourself too much. I think walking really helped me. That's all you need. That's all the cardio that I do.
I love hearing it, man, because when I dropped that weight, I didn't do any cardio other than like just walks, or I'd go on a stepper, really low intensity cardio. And I love that you did that. I think that's one of the reasons why you were so successful so quickly. And the reason why is, guys, when you're bodybuilding, when you're on a calorie deficit, and when you're trying to live your everyday life, adding in a cardio day, while some people may be able to do that, it can be tough on your body. And so Raj, as he mentioned, he was essentially, and still is now, he's very longevity focused. You want to do something that's going to last. You don't want to just make a short-term change. You want a lifestyle. Same thing when you're trying to make those long-term changes last a long time. You don't want to burn yourself out running 2 miles to try to lose weight. Then later on in the day, you're bodybuilding. You're going to burn your body out, burn your mind out. Very sustainable way that you approached it, Raj. And I'm so glad that you were able to share this with us. I think it's fantastic.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah.
Awesome. I see another Art left another comment. Let me just hit that comment. Walking was mentioned in the last live stream as well. How many miles do you do? And is that every day, Raj? Excellent question.
Yeah, 3 miles minimum is what we do. It takes just about an hour, 7,000 steps. And I would like to do it every day. For the first 75 days, I did do it every day, but now I probably do it maybe 5 days a week.
Hey guys, hope you're well. And I just want to say, Raj, your story is so inspiring. And Joey, you look fantastic as well, my friend. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Expedience is for sure the way to go. Nice to see lives being changed. Absolutely right. When you see someone's life literally change because now you're healthier, you're more longevity focused, you're spending time with your family because you're doing something healthy like walking together. Absolutely amazing.
Thanks, Ryan.
And thank you. And thank you, Ryan, for that excellent comment. Thank you all for your comments. Art mentions that he likes to do 3 miles, but this heat is, oh yeah, I know what you mean. It's hot. It's hot.
Yeah,
No
that's why I walk like after 8 p.m. I mean, if time permits, if that works for you, 8 to 9 is usually when we go for a walk.
Perfect. Well, Raj, I'd love to keep talking with you, my friend, but I also want to get to know Matt, and we have probably Matt waiting behind the scenes. So, Whitney, if we could have Matt come out, and Raj, it's been such a privilege to get to know you, bro, and I can't wait to see your program. Really, honestly, I want to see this. I need to see this. Excellent.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for having me, Joey and Experience, and I'm also excited to see Matt's inspiring story. I think he lost like 100 pounds or something. I'm really looking forward to hearing his story. But yeah, thanks everyone. It was nice being here. Thanks for having me. Good luck with everyone in their fitness journey.
Thank you, bro. Take it easy. Matt, welcome to the show, man. Happy to have you here, bro.
Hey, Joey, how's it going? Happy to be here.
Man, listen, I wanted to like introduce you slowly and stuff, but is it true you lost 100 pounds?
Yeah, actually, I've lost over 100 pounds. I'm about at 120 pounds total as of today. So